So I've been debating on discussing a pretty sensitive topic for quite some time, and I just wanted to sit back and just let things kind of play out or semi play out up until a point. And now I feel like it's time to have a proper discussion. Now that D23 2024 has come and gone, I have one question. Where in the hell is T'Challa, the Black Panther? Let's get into it.
U-GeekTV.
Welcome back to U-GeekTV. I am Jarius, the Unapologetic Geek, and I'm back with another edition of the Unapologetic Opinion, where I give my unfiltered and unbiased opinions about stories that I've come across. And today I want to talk about D23 2024. Really the state of flux that Disney not only is in, but more specifically, Marvel Studios is in. And that's where I really want to hone in. There was a part of the D23 experience where they spoke of a television show called Eyes of Wakanda. Now, Eyes of Wakanda was discussed way back when, I think before Chadwick Boseman's death. And it was supposed to be about some Wakandans who basically you getting like Wakanda stories outside of Black Panther. Here's my thing. I understand to a degree why you weren't so hasty to recast T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman's death. Like emotions were high. People like really were in their feelings about this situation. I understand it. But animation though, seriously, we can't get a Black Panther television show. We got all these, and I know this is a different studio and company. We got all these Batman shows. Spider-Man is getting yet another television show. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we have all of these other properties that are explored. And yeah, we're getting a Wakanda situation, but in animation, we can't get T'Challa because that's my understanding. T'Challa does not appear in this television show, and it's about some time traveling Wakandans, which is also interesting because wouldn't you think that unless they came before T'Challa, I understand that, but wouldn't you think either they would prevent T'Challa from dying, which Marvel Studios could use that, or maybe they'll end up seeing T'Challa in the future or something like that, and you know, you actually have an adventure or something with him. Well, you think that would be an option to go, but Disney appears to. I'm gonna be honest. It's like Disney doesn't realize that T'Challa existed before Chadwick Boseman, and honestly, Disney hasn't treated black characters all that well anyway. Like Rhodey, spoilers for Secret Invasion. Rhodey was a scroll the entire time, and there is some. I mean, Armor War still hasn't come out. It went from being a TV show to a movie about basically the fallout of Tony Stark's death and how War Machine is going to have to deal with the fallout of, you know, like armors and stuff like that. Like maybe the military get their hands on some armors. Yeah. Uh, I mean, Falcon has been handled pretty well for the most part. Took forever to get an Ironheart show, which I really don't care about that, but it is what it is, and it serves my point here. But the way they've handled T'Challa specifically has been strange. The decision to kill him was by far a terrible decision, like one of the worst decisions the MCU has made. This character made an impact not only on the culture, but on the audience as well. And we told you that by making it $1 billion movie and going to see it over and over again, and you stripped us of that character. I believe Black Panther Wakanda Forever made most of the movie because of the grief and the grief selling that they did with that film due to Chadwick Boseman's loss. But when you look at how people actually feel about that movie, it's a mixed bag. And mostly we've come to the point where we understand that it was a mistake to kill T'Challa off. But it doesn't end there. Like this, the Eyes of Wakanda thing not having T'Challa, and again, I could be wrong, man. It could surprise us and set up the multiversal T'Challa. But X-Men 97 has a Black Panther cameo in it, and they go out of their way to ensure us that that is T'Chaka and not T'Challa. That's T'Chaka who is T'Challa's father. They make sure to tell us that. When Bodemeo was asked about it on Twitter, he kind of gave this answer like essentially saying that's what Disney wanted him to do, right? The the person who created the character or adapted the character for television back when Fantastic Four was out during the 90s, where T'Challa first shows up in their animated universe, thus telling us who the real Black Panther is. He said that was always intended to be T'Challa. That being T'Chaka is so weird. Then you have the video game, which I believe is it Marvel 1943 or something to that effect. It takes place during World War II, where it's Captain America um and T'Challa, not T'Challa, I'm sorry, Captain America and the Black Panther are going to be splitting duties as the protagonists of those games. Well, of course, during that time period, T'Challa wouldn't have been alive. However, it's an Elseworld story, essentially, and you could have T'Challa in there if you wanted to, and they chose not to have him. And it's just really weird. Then there's rumors about another Black Panther game where you're not going to play as T'Challa, you're going to play as another Wakandan who becomes the Black Panther. This is strange. I don't know what it is about Disney. They feel like their audience is going to turn on them because we moved on and because they recast T'Challa, when I don't believe that's happened a lot in history where it comes down to the quality of the work more than a character being recast when a beloved actor dies. That's what it comes down to. We're intelligent enough to be able to process and handle a different actor playing T'Challa. And now I'm hearing this rumor about how Toussaint from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, T'Challa's son is going to be the new Black Panther. They're like going to age him up or find a way to do that and all that kind of stuff. And Secret Wars does open a avenue to have a new T'Challa from another multiverse be the main 616 Black Panther or something like that, or even have T'Challa's son become Black Panther. With all that being said, I'm going to put this as simply as I can, and I am dead serious about it. We do not give a fuck about Toussaint. We don't. I don't know if giving him a son was supposed to appease the people who wanted to see T'Challa on screen some more. This shit did not work. We don't give a fuck about that character. We don't. It's nothing against the little kid at all. He's an innocent. I mean, it's not one of those things where I'm saying we're all just going to go crazy. No, I grew up, and a lot of people grew up reading the comics of this character. And we know how powerful T'Challa is. Not to mention the adaptation of T'Challa with under Ryan Coogler, quite frankly, is kind of neutered. And his personality is split between um, Nakia, Shuri, and Okoye. His personality is split between all of them. T'Challa was a badass, man. And while he did have the counsel of supporting characters in his life, for the most part, he was that dude. He was intelligent enough to come up with his own suits. He was intelligent enough to implement the battle strategy and things of that nature. He was intelligent enough to sneak in and out and get intel. T'Challa was a hero, but he was a badass. There was a reason they called him the most dangerous man alive in the comics. He was that dude. And they watered him down on screen, but we accepted it because, look, man, it was still a good movie and it was still a great portrayal by Chadwick Boseman. To be honest, I feel like the Russos had a better handle on T'Challa than Ryan Coogler did, and Ta-Nehisi Coates as well. But getting back like to the overarching point, man, is why is Disney so afraid to put this character back on screen? Like um their fans don't understand what it is that happened. Just do it. Do it and see what happens. I promise you another $1 billion if you get him on there. T'Challa, just like Blade, deserves to have another film. Not just another Black Panther film. No, T'Challa deserves to have another film and to have more stories told about him and his exploits. And to basically make an actor who I love Chadwick Boseman, what he did, to basically make an actor bigger than the character who honestly is decades older than him. It's disingenuous, it's egregious, and it's honestly a downright shame because T'Challa is just he's an important figure in fiction, in Marvel, and honestly, man, I honestly to my heart and my soul, I feel like Chadwick would have wanted T'Challa to continue on because he understood the importance of that character. And Disney is just, they're just like, fuck it, man. We're going to put him on the shelf until we feel like it's time for him to come back. And it's been time for him to come back. Kevin Feige, please, man, please recast T'Challa. But hey, who am I? Just a dude who cusses and talks shit on the internet, right? And analyze movies and TV shows and all this shit I love. That's all I am. I'm just a simple man. But that's my opinion. With that being said, what do you think about D23? I know I didn't really get in depth with it and all that kind of stuff. I just kind of got enraptured in the whole T'Challa thing. But what do you think about D23? Let me know what you think in the comments. What did you think about what I was saying about Black Panther? Like, do you miss Black Panther? Do you miss really T'Challa, the Black Panther? Let me know in the comments. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe. And until next time, I'm Jarius, Unapologetic Geek, and I am out.